All right, the second batch of episodes for Love is Blind Season 8 are out. Episodes 6 through 9 available, and we finally got some drama after the first 6 episodes were really just like the experiment working and people falling in love and like getting to know each other and being happy. Boring! We're talking about white noise and if you snore at night and if you wake up too many times to pee and what kind of laundry you do. It was like, ugh. I'm just watching people be in a relationship. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that love is actually blind and that you guys are actually falling for each other. Puke. If I wanted to just sit around and talk about relationships, I would just do that myself. I want to be entertained. So we finally got some drama. The biggest, the most dramatic storyline of the season is coming from Dave and Lauren. Now, Dave, you'll remember, is the guy that I'm pretty sure wants to bang his sister.
My sister.
My older sister.
My sister.
Motherly. Put the seat down after I use it.
My sister.
And Lauren is the girl he's falling in love with. Now, she's perfectly fine. She's very cute. She seems very nice. And the way things on the surface appear is that Dave is the douchebag villain and that Lauren is the nice girl who, he's probably going to break her heart or upset her. And really, what we find out is that it's actually Dave who is kind of in a compromising position and that Lauren might have been dating someone right up until just days before she left to go to the pods for season 8 of Love is Blind.
My friends they're just like, their first impression already is like, oh, this girl is dating a guy that we know. Apparently they hung out like the Friday before she left on Sunday. And apparently the guy's like still texting her and trying to see her and stuff. And
now, Dave found this out by his friends in Minneapolis. Now, doing this in a place like Minnesota, where it's very tiny and seems very incestual, everybody is bound to know everybody else. And it sounds like Dave is good friends with a dude who knows the guy that Lauren was hooking up with just before coming to the pods. Now, as the story goes, it was like they hung out on a Friday before the cast left to go to Love is Blind on a Sunday. The story ranging anywhere from a day prior to leaving to the weekend before. But no matter what, it seems like she was with a guy right before leaving. Now, whether they were dating, just friends, hooking up, there seems to be a murky gray area. But nonetheless, this is rubbing Dave the wrong way. He was talking to Molly earlier in the pods, and she said she was in a relationship 6 months prior to Love is Blind. And that was too much for Dave. He was like, oh, wow, you were like just involved with someone and now you're ready here to come get married. I don't know about that. So if 6 months is going to be a problem for Dave, then 48 hours is definitely going to be an issue. Now, it's a bigger issue because Dave is completely consumed with the fact that he and Lauren have not yet had sex.
me and Lauren have not had sex yet. I've seen her naked.
He can say all he wants, that he's ready to wait and he knows it's on her terms and whenever she's good to go, he's good to go and he's happy to do it. But it is eating at my man that he has not clapped those cheeks. Let's be honest. He can't stop talking about it. He's talking to the camera. He's doing the confessional. And every single couple he talks to, the very first thing he's asking, so you guys fuck yet?
You guys had sex yet? We were just talking to like, you guys haven't had sex yet?
No.
We haven't either. You guys haven't sex yet? I've been asking people like, have you had sex yet? And they're like, oh, okay then. I just genuinely want to know, like, what's up? Are you guys having sex yet? Like, what's it like?
Totally cool with it. He's fine with waiting, except it's the only thing on his brain to the point that he's walking around like Steve Carell in the 40-Year-Old Virgin being like, sex, dude, how about sex? Sex is cool, right? Like, have you seen your girl's boobs? Mine are like bags of sand. This is cool, dude. So my man wants to hit it so bad, but it just can't get this thing out of the back of his head that Lauren was with another dude right before getting together with him. And to pour salt on the wound and a little gasoline on this fire, the building that they moved into together back home in Minnesota is the same building where this guy lives. So, yeah, when you're, heading down to the laundry in the basement, or you're picking up your packages, or in the elevator, and you see that dude who's like, hey, bro, Eskimo bros, and it was just 2 minutes before she met you. That sucks. Now, whose side are you on? Are you on Dave's side? Does he have a gripe to be like, why are you ready to get married if you were just in some sort of relationship? Or are you on Lauren's side, who she was a single girl prior to meeting Dave, and she has the right to do whatever she wants? Personally, I feel like I kind of understand both sides. Like, Lauren definitively did not do anything wrong. There is no cheating. There is no hiding. There is no nothing inherently wrong here. She was a single girl going on a ridiculous reality show where you might not even know if you're going to last like a day or end up getting married. So, you probably go into that being like, I'm going to go on this Love is Blind thing, whatever, get some Instagram followers, maybe, talk to a boy for a little bit. Who knows? No chance I'm going to get married. So really, are you going to remain celibate in the days and weeks and months leading up to Love is Blind? Because you're like, I may be meeting my husband in the most preposterous fashion ever. So no, I will not associate with any males up until then. No, I mean, the whole point is that people were trying to find love and haven't been successful in dating. And that's why they're turning to it. It's not, hey, I've been celibate for 3 years and I haven't seen anyone, and now I've preserved myself for you for marriage. So she has every right to do, you have every right to do whatever you want with your life until you define the relationship and there are certain expectations that are agreed upon between you and your partner. So she did nothing wrong. That we can establish. There is a difference, though, between you did something wrong versus you doing something that triggers me emotionally. Because in the world of relationships, it's not necessarily, we're not talking about logic. We're not talking about, black and white, right or wrong. You're talking about emotions where maybe you're being immature. Maybe you're being insecure. Maybe you're being unfair, but you can't help how you feel. And if Dave finding out that this girl was with somebody, the days or week before meeting you, that's going to make a lot of guys feel a certain way. I hate to admit it. I hate to say it, but every guy is kind of like that. I wish we were all mature. I wish everyone was secure enough to be like, I don't care who you were with. I don't care how big he was, how strong he was, how much money he has, how successful he is, how funny he is, how big his dick is, how good he is in bed. I don't care about any of that. I'm confident. I'm secure. Let's go. Fuck your past. Nobody's like that. Everybody has a little bit of, who was your ex, or am I like them, or am I not like them? What kind of shoes do I have to fill? Literally and figuratively. So Dave being like, I don't love this, I think is understandable. You can't now where you get in trouble is if you're holding it against her as if she violated you or disappointed you. All you can really say about this is I just don't love this and I can't shake this feeling. Now, Lauren is being like, I don't get why this is holding us up so much. Why does this have to do with anything to do with my ability to be a wife and be married? And yeah, there's some validity there. It's like, yes, I was with other people. It doesn't matter if it was a day or a year before. Once I found you, I loved you. We're good to go. Now I think she's making it better by telling Dave we're just friends with benefits. And I think that's making it worse. I don't know, man. Again, it's not exactly the most mature way to view it. But if you told me you were in a committed relationship and I don't know, you dumped him or he dumped you right before and then we found each other, it's like, all right, I got to get over the fact that, I might be second choice, or the fact that there was no time for you to really get closure right before. There's a couple things you got to deal with. But if you're like, bro, we weren't even together, we were just fucking, I don't think that's going to ease his emotions at all. Her being like, what's the problem with me being friends with benefits for 2 months prior to this? It's that you were getting fucking clapped probably every weekend for 2 months with some dude who you were not really going to be in a relationship with, which means you were like, he's not the one for me. I don't love him, but boy, do I love that dick. Come on over and paint these walls. Nobody wants to hear that. As crazy as it sounds, you probably want to hear, no, I was in love with this guy right before, rather than, no, we just had a fuck fest going. It was just late night, Plowtown. He was awful. He couldn't even read. He can't write. He doesn't even have a job, but he was dicking me down. That's not fun either. And these are the things that go through our heads. Right or wrong, girls are crazy in their way and guys are crazy in this way, where they're insecure and they're worried about how they measure up, again, literally and figuratively. So I don't think Lauren's making things better. You can also tell that Lauren has talked to her friends about this and she has handed out the talking points. They have all agreed, you can tell, they have all agreed upon this defense, if you will, that it's the same thing as flirting at the bar. She said that.
Like, you didn't flirt with someone at a bar like a week before you came here?
Both the other girls said that.
Have you, like, flirted with somebody at a bar prior to going on the show?
Haven't you just flirted with someone at a bar? That's the same thing that happened here. That is a very specific defense to make that they all were throwing at him that makes me think they were like, let's just compare this to flirting at the bar. It was harmless. It was nothing. We were just basically flirting. And it sounds like you were flirting at the bar and then fucking at home. So it's a little bit different. And I don't think that defense is going to work. Because every time they say to him, well, haven't you been on dating apps? He's like, yeah, but not recently. And, well, haven't you flirted before? Yeah, but that's not the same as hooking up. And weren't you with people prior? Yes, but not 48 hours before I came to meet my wife. He's got an argument there, and I don't think their logic is exactly sound. And let me tell you this much. If this situation was reversed, and it has been in the past with Love is Blind, there have been guys who have come on the show with active girlfriends, very recent girlfriends, recent fiancés, and every time that happens, that guy is called a dog. That guy is dragged. They call him a sleazeball. They call him every name under the sun. They treat it like he is a deviant. This is assault. And in this situation, it's like, what do you mean? Why am I not allowed to fuck around? So if that's the case, that should be it across the board when men and women do this. And I do not think that would really be the case if the tables were turned here. And I certainly don't think the defense of if a guy was fucking another chick right before meeting you, and the only reason that even came to light was because you found out through a third party that it was not something she ever offered up and was not going to offer up, and he had to find out through back channels, which is also part of, I think, what's bothering him. He says flat out, I don't know if this is something she ever would have revealed to me, so my mind is spiraling a little bit. If that all happened with a woman and then you said, it's just like flirting, oh my God, you would be crucified for that as a dude. So I think there's a huge double standard going on here, but I think you're in a spot where it's just kind of shitty for both people, where it's like, I never thought this was going to happen. I'm sure if she knew, hey, you're about to meet your fiance and husband in a week, she probably would have, kept it in her pants and didn't feel the need to call that late night booty call a weekend before going on this show. She has no idea that's going to happen. So why are you going to, cut yourself off or punish yourself or hold yourself back for when you're thinking, I'm just going to go on this silly show and have fun with it. So it's only something that could happen in this Love is Blind world where you have to be pretty understanding. You also wouldn't love it if you were dating a girl who was like, yeah, I'm talking to 5 other dudes at the moment. But when you go to Love is Blind, you have to suspend some of that. You have to put up with some of that. Everyone is kind of like, listen, I know you're talking to other people. I know you're making other connections. And, I don't love that, but that's part of the gig. Well, it's also part of the gig that at some point in your life, you had to decide I'm going on Love is Blind. And up until then, everyone's going to live and party and fuck and date and do all those other things. So if you're going to suspend all sorts of other feelings and emotions and rationalities to go on a ridiculous, preposterous, straight up silly dating show, then this should also probably fall under that umbrella. That being said, you can't help how you feel. When you find out some news that you wish you didn't and your heart starts beating and your face goes numb and you're just picturing things in your head and you're like, boy, I wish I didn't know that. There's nothing you can do about it. You got your friends chirping in your ear. Sure, they're being like, that girl, Tommy was fucking her last week, or she's not good for you. Everyone's chirping and you're thinking and your mind's running crazy. I get it. And so that's why I can tell you straight up, these two are fucked. There is no way this lasts. I mean, the way that she is looking to him to just let this go, and she's like, I love you, we're good, please don't make this a big deal, and he just can't get over it. And every argument she throws out there, he's just like, no, not really. There's just no shot that you can make it through this, especially with the sister looming. We know that Dave and Lauren are going to bring Dave's sister into the mix. And my God, I have not waited for a character reveal like this on a television show in a long time. This chick has been built up like she's William Wallace in Braveheart. Like she's 7 feet tall and shoots lightning out of her ass. Like this girl, I can't put my finger on why I think this. And it's probably because Dave talks about her like he's hopelessly in love with her. If Dave's sister is not fucking super hot, it makes this so much weird. It's so weird either way. It really, I can't understand. I can't explain the logic, but to me, it's like if your sister is gonna have this much hold over you and control over your life, she better be fucking hot, which is so crazy. It's some White Lotus shit to even say that. But if this chick is like just, you know, this ugly, homely fatso, it's like, why does her opinion even on your dating life even matter? She better be a rocket. And as we saw when Monica introduced her sister to Joey, sometimes the sister reveals can be a little bumpy.
He's not your type. When you look at him, he's not. My only worry is you do it, you get married, and then you have to get divorced.
So I think between this ex-boyfriend hookup situation, living in the same building with him, her kind of not lying but omitting this, him finding out through friends, not being able to get over this, and a disapproving sister waiting in the wind, this is cooked. And if it's not, these two are so dumb. Like, just split up, run opposite directions. These two and Montoya from La Isla de Tentacion, you guys are just not good for each other. Go back to fucking that other guy. You go bang your sister. Montoya, go get a new girlfriend. She belongs to the beach. There are some people who are just no longer meant to be together, and it's crazy to hold on to it and try to just keep jamming this square peg in this round hole. So we'll see what happens in 10, 11, 12, and then the reunion. But if I'm a betting man, I would say that Dave and Lauren are not long in this world together as a married couple.